Hey YouTube, this is LaShawn Wiley with another episode of The Science of Managing. And this episode, we will be talking about the science of managing your procrastination. Okay, so we want to focus on some of the reasons why we procrastinate and how we can overcome our bad habit of procrastination. I'm not talking about people who are just simply lazy and won't do anything because they're just lazy. I'm talking about hardworking, normally focus-minded people who see themselves putting things off. So let's get to the bottom of how we can overcome some of our own challenges when it comes to procrastination. So there are two main reasons I want to focus on about why we procrastinate in the first place. The first one is fear, and the second one is lack of. We'll dive deeper into that lack of in a second. But for now, let's focus on fear. All right, when it comes to fear, the one of the biggest fears that we have that makes us go into a long period of procrastination is the fear of failing. We are just afraid of failing, and this one comes internally. This is something we can fix from within ourselves by having a positive attitude and a positive attitude for positive results. Think positively, and that will help you overcome some of the fear of failing. The fear of the unknown result is that comes from any source. It's not from you, it's not from someone else, because you simply don't know. And some of us, we get what's called analysis paralysis, where we're analyzing a situation so much, trying to predict and anticipate every outcome, that we get stuck without moving forward, making a decision to move forward, without even trying, because we're so worried about so many different outcomes and not really realizing that we cannot anticipate every outcome. Sometimes you just have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get out of your comfort zone. Push yourself forward. After you have evaluated a situation to be something you want to try and that you know is safe enough to not harm yourself, just do it. Okay? Don't be worried about, so focused on the results that it stops you from moving forward. Just go forward. Fear of rejection, this one is from an outside source, okay? This does not come from within, and I won't really count this as the unknown. The fear of rejection comes from other sources. And it could be something like you going to ask your spouse for a favor, for some help with something, and you know you can't finish this project without your spouse or someone else helping you with this particular project. So you kind of put it off because you know you can't do it by yourself. And if you ask that person, maybe they're going to say no, maybe they don't have time, maybe they just don't want to help you, maybe they don't feel like helping you. All of this, just the fear of rejection can make you actually put something off as well. So this goes back to not worrying so much about things you cannot control. You can't control what another person says, if they're going to choose to help you or not, if they're going to reject you or if they're going to help you. You can't control that. What you can control is if you go to that person and ask for help in the first place. That you can control. Only worry about what you can control, and don't have fear of rejection. Just ask. The worst they can do is say no. Now let's talk about lack of. Lack of knowledge is a really big one. Sometimes we just worry about not having enough information to get started with something, so we won't start it at all. Sometimes you don't have all the answers. Sometimes you have more answers than you think. Just go ahead and move forward anyway, even if you feel like you may not have all the necessary knowledge. There's a saying that when it comes to taking on a heavy responsibility or a leadership role, you're never ready, because you can never have all of the knowledge. And some of us only feel ready when we have all of the knowledge. You may not be able to get all of the knowledge. You just have to go forward and try and learn as you go. Learn in the position sometimes. Okay? Motivation. Some of us want to get something done, but we're just simply not motivated to actually start it or do it because all of this fear that I mentioned up at the top. So they're not you're not going to be motivated to even start the project. Or you're worried a lot about your knowledge, so you're not motivated to start the project. If you avoid falling into the traps of all of the things we kind of mentioned so far, that will help you overcome this motivation factor when it comes to not being motivated because of fear and knowledge and unknown results and rejection. Okay. um, Also, sometimes you can find yourself not motivated because it's something you really don't want to do. You don't really want it. Therefore, you're not motivated to do it. Therefore, you just keep procrastinating. So you have to recognize that if this is something you simply don't want, you have to ask yourself, why are you doing it? Why is it on your list in the first place? If it's something you need to do, then go ahead and leave it on your list. But if it's something you don't really need, why is it on your list if you're not motivated to do it? Take it off your list. Find something you actually want to do instead of worrying about things that you don't want to do, you're not motivated to do, and they're on your to-do list. Move them off your list. Okay? They may not even need to be there. Confidence. If you don't have confidence in what you're doing, you'll put it off. Put simple. This one is a tough one because some of us just don't have confidence. Some guys are the kind of guys that jump head first into something because they're confident that they're going to have a positive outcome, while other people, they're just afraid. They're afraid that they're going to fail. They're so worried that they don't have enough information. They're so worried about rejection. They're so worried about not having enough knowledge that they won't even try because they just lack the confidence. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That will help you with the confidence piece. Okay? Be comfortable with not always having all of the knowledge. Be okay with rejection if that came. The worst they can say is no. That would also help build your confidence. And also think about positive outcomes when it comes to something that's on your list. Don't focus on the negative outcome. Focus on the positive outcome of what's on your list to do. And that will motivate you and give you the confidence necessary to even start on the project. Okay? Hopefully this was helpful, you guys. Please like, please share, please subscribe. This is the science of managing. Be good, be productive, succeed in life, no excuses. Be good, you guys.